apparently we're starting this week with me.
Right, so Kris is doing the Rubik's Cube.
Me Rubicking.
I like the way I wasn't prepared there. I didn't even see you turning the thing on there. I was too busy.
Way ahead of you.
So this week we're doing the silent episode. It's going to be a 4-hour episode.
Fucking not. You've made it easy. Look at that.
I know. So actually, what while you're doing that, what episode is this? 16.
I think so.
So this is episode 16, and this is the weird angle again. I feel as if I should be sitting over there. This feels as if it's not like everybody's got a chair in their house or in the pub. You've got a chair you sit on.
Your own wee bit.
Your own wee bit. I feel as if it's only like a metre away.
My bit was stolen by the dog last night.
What you in the house?
Aye.
Stole your chair?
Aye, I had to squeeze up to make room for a
Bastard.
dog. But you don't tell a dog to get out your bit, because then you're on adverts about abusive people, ain't you?
How no? Tell your dog to fuck off. I'm the same.
You've not even got your headphones on.
Oh, shit, I've not got my headphones
ready
on.
for this.
So you wasn't ready, that's fine, but that's the point. So, aye. So what we were going to do this week, Kris, we spoke about it, or we decided just before it, to talk about the Edinburgh Festival.
I'll be with you in a minute. This is good.
I say it's hard to do it.
Content. I know it's when you're trying to.
Right, we'll just let you do that, and you can edit it in. Right?
I'll speed this bit up.
We'll speed this bit up. So
in fact, no, actually, it's going to be in real time. I'm just going to start doing it really fast now. Okay, so.
Right, so this is Kris doing the Rubik's Cube, and I'm
Right, 3,
and this bit's getting
2,
edited.
1,
Go. This is the slowest I've ever seen you doing the Rubik's Cube.
It's been ages.
So you've not even got the first bit yet.
Alright.
Fuck's sake, Kris. This is karma because you've only do the silent episode.
This is as close as you're ever getting to a silent episode with me. Right, look, we've got one layer. Right, now
That took ages, but
I know. There'll be all the wee shortcuts that are like out of my head. Just no.
So we're just doing an hour of Kris doing the Rubik's Cube.
It's going to take about an hour at this, right?
I know. You were like a minute and a half the last time you done it.
I've let myself go in many ways.
It shows you though, doesn't it? Like if you've not done it for a wee while, it just does take you that wee bit longer, doesn't it? Just to get it.
Right, we're no far.
No, what it's like, Kris, you can maybe put this back at the end so it speed it up a wee bit. It's like doing stand-up, see when you've not done a gig for a while. Like, see, like...
Well, that makes me nervous because I'm planning to hopefully try and do another one of my own.
Aye, but like, you've only done once, you're alright, you're allowed to be nervous. But like, during the lockdown, you had the gig for like 2.5 years.
Aye, fair enough.
Then the first gig back, you're a bit kind of... You know, your nose sharp.
Aye.
You know, so you're just a wee bit slower. Oh,
here we
yes!
go.
And that only took 10 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. 10 seconds.
Here we go.
I thought you were going to do He Did It music.
Do we have a celebration? I mean, we've got the applause, but
what other buttons have you got there? Can I press buttons? Because I've never been the button presser.
Sure, that's that one. Wait, press it again to stop it.
Oh. I played that one after your gig.
Right.
That was good.
I smashed. That's what you should play after my gig.
No, your gig was good. That was out of order there. Where's Peter Griffin?
There's other pages. It's like we've got this, which this will change your voice.
What does it change? Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ is a bastard. Come to the devil's side.
The devil is man! The devil's a man! The devil's a man!
Believe in Jesus!
Well, that sounds like the guy on the street with the megaphone.
But Jesus, you're sinners, you're all going to go to hell just for existing and thinking about wanking every now and again.
Fucking hell, that was scary.
Ooh.
I can actually hear my voice.
Who the fuck's that? That sounds like the fat thing with the fags.
Oh, aye, and the...
I need a fag, Charlie, I need a fag. I need a fag. And that sounds like it. I used to smoke 500 fags a day. And just smoke 100 fags a day.
Right, and then we've just got the usual noises.
Right.
We've got the etc.
Oh, that's fucking amazing, that, right? So finally, we're on to the episode, right?
We're back. We've been recording for 7 minutes, but 5 of that was I doing a Rubik's Cube. So.
Aye, so the Rubik's Cube will get down to 30 seconds with it. So episode 16, Chris, and we decided we're going to talk about the Edinburgh Festival.
Yes, we're in April.
We're in April.
Not August.
Not August. So April and May, June, July. So it's only 3 months. April, 4 months.
May, June, July, August.
Aye, so there's like
Fair
April,
enough,
May, June, July.
mid-April.
So we've got 4 months to it starts, really, innit?
Aye.
So all of April, all of May, all of July.
I've seen the last couple of weeks everyone's starting to announce their shows, so I suppose we're quite relevant. Have you got yours sorted?
Aye, well, I've got my venue. I've got one venue, 2 venues. I've got a plug in 20 past 2 in Banshee Labyrinth, which is good.
And that's just down the hill for the Globe, innit?
Aye. I've not got the Globe this year, which is shite, because that was a great venue. That was a good time. The only reason for that is because PBH lost a few venues.
Oh, so they don't got the Globe at all?
Nah. No, they've got the Globe.
Oh,
But because they lost a few venues in the Cowgate.
Oh, so they need to try and condense everyone.
Because I'm doing 3 shows a day, my priority, I get my 2 shows.
Aye, fair enough.
And I might get another show, but because there's less people, and there's more, there's less venues to give out to people, so it's a bit of a pain. But
Aye. So you get Banshees at, what was that, 2:30?
20 past 2, and then that's the
past 2.
solo show, and then Whistle Binkies, Jocks, Geordies and Aussies again.
Cool.
So that's always good. So I've got 2 good spots and venues. I'd love a third one, about 4 or 5 would be amazing, but hey, it is what it is.
Maybe I'll do a wee Fringe appearance this year, who knows?
I can maybe get you on our show.
I say that having done 1 gig in my life.
You've done 1 gig.
Aye.
You've done 1
But
gig.
I'm going to, between now and the Fringe, I'm going to do more.
Aye.
And then hopefully there, I'll pick up some open spots
Aye.
and take over the world.
Take over the world, right? So I think the reason I wanted to talk about the Fringe today.
Can you pass me a Drunken Plum coaster, please?
What is it called?
The Drunken Plum.
So today's episode is sponsored by the Drunken Plum.
Every episode's sponsored by the Drunken Plum.
Who are they?
This pub, this establishment.
Oh, is that what the name of this? So I've been doing this venue since the start of the year. This is what they're called.
Drunken Plum.
Has it always been called that?
Yeah.
Why was I not told this?
There's a sign at the door, like
Is there?
like every pub.
Oh fuck, I'm stupid.
No.
So the Edinburgh Festival is what we're talking about. It starts in 4 months, but I love it. The reason I kind of thought about talking about it today, because it's like a lot of people hear about the Edinburgh Festival and they say loads of comedians go there and lose thousands, right?
I have heard that.
That's the kind of thing.
Mainly from you, but like from other podcasts, like even massive comedians, like Have a Word Boys. I've heard them talk about it.
So people do lose thousands, but that's because they allow themselves to be ripped off with big promoters and venues.
Aye, I think we briefly talked about it in a very early episode, but we talked about it sort of seen as a status thing. Like you'll willingly lose thousands for that status thing of being on one of these venues by one of these big promoters.
But that's where these big promoters' venues are fucking. They're conning you, man. It's like so they sell you the status, and then you go and lose money. Because I spoke to a guy the other day. I won't mention his name. He's a good guy, good comedian, and he done it last year. I think it was his debut solo show.
Right.
He done the Pleasance, and he sold out just about every day, 70-seater.
Okay.
And only like this week, this is when his finances are just getting sorted from last August. So that's like a fucking bad thing already. That's like what, 8 months.
8, aye.
And he said last night he just found out from his agent that he owes them $2,000. So he sold out a month.
So there's really no way to make a profit.
I do
He
venues.
couldn't have possibly sold anymore because he sold out everyone.
There's something they said that says if he sold less, they'd have took less and they might have made some money. So it's a fuck up.
Is it like getting taxed? Like
Aye, no, there's a higher tax rate. Or
aye,
something.
like if you make more money, you get more tax, and then end up
Aye.
actually making less in the end.
Aye.
One of these kind of things.
So he sold out. So apparently, I don't know what I need to do the maths. I don't know what he's. So apparently, generated income from ticket sales was about 21,000 quid,
Right.
and he owed them like $2,000.
So they're saying it's like
That's
23,000 odd would be the total cost of.
something like that. So I don't know what the cost is. So there's costs for venue hires. You're paying for the room. You pay for the room, whatever that is. It could be various, right? You're paying for the room. You're paying for PR. His agent will get a cut. So there's all these costs. And it's like, and he's working his balls off, writing a show for a year and going there and losing money. And I think what happens is, and this it actually makes me angry. I'm angry, Kris, man.
Let's get a rant.
A fucking rant. And there's big venues out there, these big fucking corporate cunts. They rip comedians off. They fucking do. It fucking pisses me off. Because there's good fucking solid working class comedians out there that can't afford this.
Aye.
And that's a problem with the festival. They want to go there, but they think, I can't go because it'll cost me a fortune. I can't afford it. I was lucky because I live in Glasgow, and when I started, I didn't have a clue about any of the venues or anything like that. I could go and suss it out.
Aye.
And I could go there and experiment. It took me like years, but eventually I make a profit every year.
I'm just tidying up.
And so there's people like the underbelly. I don't know what they're like. There's certain promoters, genuinely, you have a good run, and I think Stephen Buchanan or somebody like that years ago told me done. I think it was a Pleasance as well, and he had a good run and owed them $4,000.
Aye.
And that's fucking
So he's been
ridiculous.
on the last few years. He's been at Monkey Barrel.
Monkey Barrel are good though. So there's venues like, I think, like, I don't know. I mean, don't quote me. I think Monkey Barrel, The Stand, like Rick Molland, who runs a few like Beehive and stuff. They have a good like deal. And I do PBH every year.
Aye, well, it should all be in favour of the comedians.
Aye.
Without them, nothing happens.
So guys like the Monkey Barrel, they'll make a profit, but not at the they'll make a fair profit. But also the comedians will get like a good. So it's like a what's the word, win-win.
Aye.
Whereas the Pleasance and shit like that are fucking pay to play. You're paying, not worrying about making any money to live on. You're paying hoping that a TV company will pick you up, an agent will pick you up.
Aye.
You get picked up with somebody, and the thing is, like, I don't know how many people do that, but a small percentage of comedians that do the Pleasance will get the rewards.
Aye, but that's maybe 5 a year out of every comedian that does it.
Aye, so imagine like there's like 200 comedians here, so maybe like 5 of them get the big rewards that all the rest of them are kind of hoping for.
Yeah.
And it just pisses me off, man. It's like, I think that's the problem. There's like a lot of people talk about it, and I don't like it. A lot of comedians will talk about that there's a class thing in comedy, where the ones that make it are middle class to upper class because they've got money from parents that let them do it, and it's hard for the working class guys.
That's not just exclusive to comedy, innit? There's like bands that start off
totally, aye.
that their parents will buy them all the best instruments and all the best gear. I know that doesn't make you a better musician,
Nah.
but it gives you that head start to like be able to afford going
Aye.
into a studio,
Aye.
record stuff, record video stuff.
Aye. Plus,
You can book yourself big venues.
Aye,
to put stuff on.
plus if you've got parents bankrolling you can do all the shitty gigs to get good.
And you don't need to worry about having a shit job that's going to get in the way of this kind of
Aye,
stuff. So that's, I know we're talking about it in the context of comedy, but that happens even just in, starting a business. Do you know what I mean?
Totally, aye. Because it's like if you've got a job, you've got like responsibilities with kids, but you want to start a business, but you got to pay the bills as well. It's hard. Whereas like you maybe have like somebody that's got a lot of money, comedian there, and I've got nothing against these guys. Fair play to them. They maybe get parents that've got a lot of quid. Right, there's 40 grand. Go and do your comedy for 2 years. Work on it.
Yeah.
Do all the gigs. You don't need to worry about money. Whereas working class comedians will need to go, right, I need to work. I need to drive to a gig and go home at like 2 in the morning, and I've got 3 hours sleep before I go to work, and I'm fucked.
And it's an advantage, but you might get these people with the money might not be as good as
possibly
a working class one coming up, and they might make it based purely on merit on how good they are.
Oh, aye.
But it's still a much harder slog and a harder thing to get to.
But in same way in saying that though, right, I don't like the victim mentality thing, right? So there's that, because there's always guys that have come up against it. See, like Frank Skinner.
Yep.
Right, so Frank Skinner, he started comedy when he was 30. Apart from, this is quite late. Well, it's not really that late, but I used to think it was.
Well, I mean, you see a lot starting now in their teens and then sort of making it in their mid-20s when they've even maybe been doing it for 10 plus
But then
years.
with comedy, there was a woman a few years ago started in her 70s.
Oh, we talked about that at
Lynn
one
Miller,
point.
who died a few years ago, but she was like starting in her 70s and she was working into her 80s fairly successfully.
Yeah, fair
So, but so there's. I'm saying that there's a working class kind of harder for them, but at the same time, if you've got enough ambition and drive, like Frank Skinner, he used to drive to gigs in all over the country, sleeping in a shitty car.
Aye.
So Have you read his book?
I think I
Audio?
did. I think I did download it after we talked about it last time. I've not read it yet.
And he
but-
just drove about the country like skint, like with a shit car, and just slept in his car, and kind of eventually it paid off for him. So if you make the sacrifices, so what I'm saying is, like, so it's just like that. Just annoys me that there's these big corporate companies that rip comedians off. They sell them the dream. It's like the big guy with the cigar going like, I can make you a fucking star. You know, these kind of guys been in those shaggy, that kind of thing.
That is the sad reality of it all.
Aye. But then another coin of that, right? So that's the kind of bad side of the Edinburgh Festival. But then I've done PBH Free Fringe for years. It's been fucking amazing.
Right.
Because they kind of give you a venue for free. You don't pay for the venue.
So do they just make what they make on the bar and
They
that's
don't.
there?
Aye. So say this was the venue. So I'm coming to do a show here. I'll hand out flyers, bring punters in. They'll buy beer money. They'll buy beer money. Can I get some beer money, please? They'll buy some beer, make some money,
Aye.
and then at the end we do a collection.
Bucket speech.
And basically you get paid for what the show's worth.
Yeah. And you usually get, whenever I've been to a show like that, I'll usually pay minimum a tenner.
Aye.
Occasionally more if it was.
But they pay on the standard of the show. Do you find that if it's a good show you'll pay more?
Aye.
If it's something a bit shite you'll maybe give them a fiver.
Like I went to one improv thing that wasn't great and I still gave them a fiver.
Aye,
And that was being split between like 4 people.
You're not a bad guy, Kris. You're not a bad guy. You know, I've seen what I wanted to talk about today is how to, because I've actually done the Fringe. I've worked it out. Like 2004 was my first year doing the Fringe.
Was this your 20th anniversary?
Fucking 20 years,
I know
man.
we missed 2020 and
Missed 2020. I think I maybe missed.
21. Was that a proper one? Or was that the one that was like sort of a not
So
quite a proper?
so what
Fringe?
years are 24? So 23 was.
So you did that full run at the
23 was a big one. Last year was one of my best ones, right?
Yeah.
22 was good. So it was 21 was the one just after the.
Aye, that was not a full.
I had a great
normal
one that
festival.
year as well, though.
Aye, I think we talked about that. Was it when Cal was here, or was it? Might have been John McMustard. There was one of them that we talked about it and we said.
and it was just a good year because it was like it was no competition.
Well, that's it. It was comparatively quiet. There was still a load of people there. More locals than internationals.
So it's basically so it's more people for the UK who couldn't go abroad on holiday, so they went to Edinburgh on holiday.
But there was still all like the UK comedians had gone.
Aye. So like Dan Willis, like drink me every year, like all the Aussies couldn't come in, the Americans and Germans, all the comedians from abroad couldn't come here, so there was no competition. It was great. And then all the bastards come back the following year. And it was weird because all the pubs were opening late. Like during normally the Fringe, the pubs open at 11 or 10. So we're actually opening at 5. So during the day, I was kind of wondering about going, where am I meant to go here? You know, I'd maybe get the pubs where they open to 5. So it was a bit weird, but it was brilliant. And I really enjoyed that year because it was just good getting back after the lockdown.
So apart from the missed year of COVID, this is your 20th anniversary of the Fringe.
I mean, I think I've not done a solo. I didn't start doing solo shows until about maybe 2 or 3 years in. So the first year, 2004, Kris. Oh, you'd have been 7 then.
Mind that wasp that was in with Mikey?
Is it back?
I don't think it's that one, but how does this keep happening? Right,
I don't know. It's a sign. It's a sign.
let's have an intermission.
You scared?
Well, I want it out. You can feel free to commentate me, try to get it out.
Right, so here's Kris here. He's chasing a wasp. Just let it be, Kris. Don't kill it though. I'll be better not kill it. Use the hat. Use the hat. You've got the thing. Look, use my notebook. Oh, there he is. Getting. I was at the altitude thing there. Look. Oh, look at this guy. Look, show them the wasp in a cup. He got it. I'll press a button. Did he work? Wasp in a cup. Right, so this is the intermission. Ah, put it out, man, put it out. It's pissing the rain though.
That would be mean to put it out.
Ah, but it's a wasp in it, it'll be fine. Where are you putting it? Go and put it in Ainsley's room.
Which is also my room, by the way.
Alright. So Kris is away putting the wasp out. Oh, he stood on it. No, he didn't stand on it. He didn't do that.
It's free, it flew away.
It flew away. It flew away.
I don't know where it's coming from.
It's probably, well, it's kind of, I've seen a few flies about, so that it's obviously coming into the whole summertime. So where were we? So
Fringe.
I started in 2004, and my first venue was actually the Banshee Labyrinth.
Oh, so 20th anniversary. Oh, I see what you've done.
Oh, I pressed that button, man. Shit. I didn't mean it, I just pressed a random button.
Right, that's us.
Fucking hell.
So tell me about the Banshees Labyrinth.
Apparently it's the most haunted pub in Edinburgh as well, which
Really?
is kind of...
I want to do at the Fringe this year, not as part of the Fringe, just because I'll be in Edinburgh, one of these like ghosty tours.
Alright, I've never done one.
I did one in York when I was in primary 6. We went on a school trip to York, and there was one of these walking tours, and I was and still am to an extent a wee shite bag, right? So
Aye.
like at the end of it, we went to the York dungeons. But
And he's stayed there ever since.
we got to the entrance, and there was like I don't even know, some kind of scary statue at the door. And remember, actually, when we were doing the guitar lesson episode, I told you about my pal Derek, who, when we got called in to like say, "Oh, I can play guitar,"
Aye.
he came in and he couldn't play guitar.
Derek's a lying bastard.
Me and him walked around York. We got to this to the York dungeons. Everyone went in, and we just both stood outside like, "No, we're not going in."
Shut it.
And then we went for a walk around the shambles and bought sweets. So where was I? But before that, we went round the walking tour where there was ghost stories.
Alright.
And I should have told this story when Mikey was here actually, talking about scary things that have happened to us. There was one of the stories was like about a pub that Dick Turpin used to frequent.
Right.
And there was a whole thing about like the pub was cursed, and if you ever said a bad word about Dick Turpin in this pub, you would be cursed, and he would get you. So one of my pals just put like one foot
Imagine
in the
me
door.
dating me that bitter.
I know. One of my
Fuck's
pals,
sake, move on, Dick.
aptly named Dick Turpin, and I'll tell you why. From what he did to me, my pal stuck his foot. My pal stuck his foot in the door of this pub and went, "Dick Turpin's gay," and we were all like, "Nah, good one." Then we got back to our hotel and it had been flooded.
Aye.
It was actually just somebody that was staying with us in the room above had left their shower on.
Dick Turpin.
And it came through to our room, like the ceiling had all caved in, it had gone over one of the beds
Aye.
and flooded the room. And
Fuck's sake.
I spent that night wide awake, just like,
Personally, I would like to say Dick Turpin's a great guy. I don't know much about him, but
listen, this was 2006, it was a different time and gay was used in a different fashion. It's not cool to call things gay, kids.
Nah.
Unless they're fucking gay.
Aye.
One other thing about that, there was another story that sort of haunted me for a while. And looking back, it's quite stupid. It was about a wee boy that used to go to, there was a sweet shop, like a fudge toffee type. You know, one of these shops
Aye.
you get in York,
Aye.
in the shambles. So the sweets, old timey.
What's the Shambles? Is that a place in York?
It's a wee area that's like all squinty wee buildings, old timey buildings, and it's all wee old timey shops. I keep
Right.
saying old timey because York's old timey.
Aye. York is still in the 1970s.
So there was this story about a sweet shop, and there was a wee poor boy that used to go in every day, and they had like a barrel of like treacle or syrup or something, and this wee guy would go in with a cup, and he'd like scoop some syrup and run away with it,
Steal it.
and have that. And then one day, the syrup had got quite low in the barrel.
They fell
and
in.
He fell in and drowned in syrup. And I used to imagine drowning in something that's like that. You're like so sticky you can't move, and then
But he'd be all he'd one of the mad sugar high. You go to heaven and be like,
Aye,
yeah.
but like the thought of drowning is terrible anyway. But if it's something as viscous
Nah,
as
nah.
syrup, that freaks me out. And
Drowning in milk would be my worst nightmare. 'Cause milk is minging.
milk or syrup? Leave in the comments. Would you rather drown in milk or syrup?
Fucking drowning in milk. Like sour milk. Imagine drowning in sour milk.
But you could like flail about. still in
No,
milk?
but I'd rather just be dead than try and save myself because I'd be covered in milk and that horrible milky smell. Anyway, I was like,
How did we? Oh, the haunted Banshee Labyrinth. I'm going to do the ghost tour in Edinburgh this year.
right, I might do it as well. And it scares me a wee bit as well, but I'll do it. So that was my first year, 2004, and you know what? I'd done it with 3 other guys,
Right.
and it was called the Alive Floor Show.
Okay.
The Live 4 Show.
Live 4.
The Alive. No, what was it? So you know what? There was a program. There was a TV program, stand-up comedy show, with Greg Kemple used to compare it, comedians from Scotland, and it was called the Live Floor Show.
Live floor. Right.
So we called our show the Alive 4 Show.
Is this just to try and get people in that would
Aye,
think
so
it was that?
so it sounded, instead of live we put alive, instead of floor show we put 4 because it was 4 years.
So you scammed people, was what
We
you're saying?
scammed. we were calling them bastards. And, so there was me, a guy called Peter H, and a guy called Andy Vaughan, and a guy called Austin Lowe. So we done it, and we were all pretty new.
Right.
And it was in the cinema room. Do you know the cinema room in the Banshee? It used to be Nickel Edwards years ago.
Is the Banshee on the corner or is it slightly further up?
No, it's down the. It's it's slightly further up. One of the bottoms is Bannerman's. So it's
that's
the next one up.
Right, I have been in Banshee, but I can't think of what it's like, so no.
So there's a wee cinema room. There's maybe about 30, 40 people in it. And I specifically remember the first gig. Right, 4 of us plus a guest. And do you know who the guest was? Des McLean.
All right.
Right, who was doing all right. He was just quite new, but he was kind of on his way up. He'd started a few years before us, but he was kind of doing all right. And so like first night, I think we had a good crowd on. We were on about 11 at night or something like that. So we'd up in the Royal Mail, 4 days flyer, and we'd done all right. And I remember every one of us died in their hole. And Peter Aitchison, who's a baldy guy, I just remember, like...
Is that a relevant detail to this story?
A wee bit.
I don't know if you just...
No, it is a wee bit. He's a baldy guy. Like he's loaded anyway, doesn't matter. So Peter, baldy guy, we were all dying in his hole, one at a time.
You were dying on his hole.
Aye. But just remember specifically, we're all dying. The gig was fucking dying, right?
But a decently busy gig.
Aye,
just dying to everyone.
About 30 people all hating every minute, yeah, right? I just remember, the reason I remember, because as Baldy, I just remember him sitting with his head in his hands going, fuck, we've got 3 weeks of this shit. And it was totally dead. And then the only laugh, or one of the biggest, we might have a few laughs, but the biggest laugh we got was up the back. Des McLean, who was on for headlining, up the back, well, somebody was dying in the hole. He farted at the back of the room. And they get the biggest laugh we got all night. So
the
that
highlight
was
of the show is a fart.
Aye, but we done all right though. So that was the first night. But then we kind of got ourselves together and we kind of changed the format a wee bit.
So was it just the actual material that was the problem, or did you need to like get the room on side of it, and you weren't that skilled at doing that yet?
That's it was 4 years though. So I'd maybe gone first, but then introduce the next act, and then the next act would introduce the next act.
Oh, so you didn't have like a compare. It was just
But we were all just having a bad gig. We just, like the 40s, the energy was low or something. So sometimes we just weren't experienced enough to know how to deal with bringing the energy back up in the room.
Aye.
So we were all just dying of it. It just happened. Do you know how sometimes the stars align in a good way?
Aye.
It was just all 4 comedians all having a bad gig in the same night. And Des McLean saved the gig with farting up the back.
There you go.
And it was just his timing. It was just beautiful.
Was it just sort of during a lull where there should have been a laugh?
No, there was like fucking 60 minutes of lull. So it was a 50 minutes of the lull.
I thought it was like effectively the room sounded like this.
Aye, but it sounded a bit. Well, that'd have been fucking something. See my bird come in and chat with that. Thank fuck, some kind of reaction.
Were you just having a wee pause waiting for a laugh and then effectively
No, even that. Man, that was sounding like the fart, but it was just the fart. Just kind of went. It was the fart was like in a relief. So people kind of go to a show they want to laugh. They kind of want to have a good time, but sometimes it's just so. I think what happens is whoever went on first had a bad gig, and if you're not that experienced, you go on, you think in your head you're going, this audience are shit, but it's usually your fault. 9 times out of 10. So basically, comedians died in his hole, and as an experienced comedian now, I know how to lift them from that. But then I didn't. So I'd gone and kind of go, shit, this is going to be hard work. I had that mindset, and then that kind of energy was spread through the lot of us.
Aye, again, because you were all not
We're
as
all
experienced.
fairly new, and but Des McLean's fart saved the gig.
Is the title of the episode.
Des McLean's gart saved the gig. So that was my first year. I think then I'd done a few years after that was kind of. I think the next year or so, I just done spots maybe.
Right.
Then it's maybe 2 or 3 years later I started doing solo shows and done some improv shows with some other guys.
So was your first couple of years up until that showed just all open spot stuff?
No, do you know that first year with the Forays was the first time I'd been to Edinburgh? I think.
Oh, really? Okay.
I think that's the first time I'd actually been at the Edinburgh Festival.
So you were sort of in at the deep end, like
Aye,
on an
and
actual
I think I maybe had like a 2 quiet years after that.
bill. How long?
No. What do you mean?
So how long were you doing that first year?
Let me think. So well, it's
Or sorry, how long had you been doing comedy
all
before
right.
this
So
for a start?
believe it or not, it was actually 5 years in, but that doesn't mean I'd been going 5 years. If that makes sense. So see, when I started, Chris, I had a very slow start, very slow, because I remember like when I started, I'd done a load of gigs, and I think I maybe had 2 or 3 years where I didn't do much.
Right, okay.
So I had like I'd maybe do a few gigs and like I mean it just shows you confidence wise, because that's like I try to, when I do my workshop, it's all about confidence. And I genuinely, like, I remember like having a bad gig and like feeling that humiliation and that fucking horrible dread you get, you know, and it's
I'm not looking forward to that.
but
I know it's a rite of passage and you need to go
is,
through it, but I was like feeling it before I'd even done it, which is what I was nervous about.
Totally, man. But you need to embrace it, and I just remember that feeling that I would if I had a bad gig, like I ended up not doing it for a couple of years. So there's probably like 2 or 3, maybe 2 years where I didn't do stand up.
Right.
And then I think you know, it's weird. Maybe 2003. I think I'm trying to remember. So like up to 2003, I started in '99 or something. So between '99 and 2003, this is me just remembering stuff. I didn't do a lot of gigs.
Right.
So it was in and out. Maybe the first year or so I'd done a bit, then I kind of went away for it a bit. Maybe had a bad gig and I just kind of. But there was always that bit in my mind, I need to get back to this.
Were you still sort of coming up with material in the back of your mind even when you weren't doing it?
It was always a thing I wanted to do, but for some reason I went away for it. But then I think what happened was 2000. No, I was doing it again. Because I was doing it a bit in 2003, but not a lot. I don't know what happened. And I could get dumped or something that year, which is a regular thing. And then because of that kind of made me want to go out again and do it.
Right, that's what I was going to ask. Was there anything in particular that made you come back to it? And
maybe
stay?
I think that kind of pushes you a wee bit, because you're kind of, you need some validation, because you feel that you feel like nobody loves me, and you need that thing.
So I'm going to make rooms full of people love me.
Aye. And then you just never get that feeling. And so that's when I started the Fringe, and then a few years after that, I think it was in maybe 2007 when I first done a solo show. 2006, 2007.
Or sorry, go back. That's what I was asking. The first year you did the Fringe, I know I changed it to how long had you been doing comedy, but how long were the spots you were doing at the first
All right,
time?
so the first year we were all doing 10 minutes each.
10, right, okay.
So it was an hour show. So maybe 12 minutes. So it was an hour show. Maybe 10 minutes each. 4 is plus a guest who maybe more experienced guy who would do a bit longer.
Right.
So we'd all do 10 minutes each. We'd do some guest spots.
And were you doing fairly, like, pretty much the same 10 minutes every night, or did it change a bit?
I think it was probably the same.
Aye. I know now you probably are a bit far more free with it, and it's just whatever happens type of thing.
Aye, so I think I probably only had 10, maybe 15 minutes at the time. I didn't have an hour anyway, I don't think. Trying to remember what the stuff, I can't even remember what it was.
Aye, because I know, like, now, having, like, just been to Altitude, as we talked about last week, like, the likes of Mark Nelson. So I saw him at the Fringe last year, and that was him sort of. It was a bit of a sort of greatest hits thing he's been doing for the last year. Like, material that he's done for the past 10 plus years and sort of put all the best bits of it together.
Oh, that's great. Aye.
But a couple of times I've seen shows like this. I went to see Mike Rice the other night as well, and I saw him do a work in progress at the Fringe last year, and that's now the show he's touring.
Aye.
So we're coming to the end of everyone's kind of cycle now, where if they've just written a show for the Fringe last year, developed it over the Fringe, and then toured it, now we're coming to the point where that hour's going to probably get like binned or recorded and put in a special,
Aye.
and now everyone starts. That tends to be the cycle of at least the people I watch.
In theory, you know, that's maybe the cycle of people that are TV stuff kind of doing quite.
Aye. Not
really-
even TV, like now just the sort of podcast circuit and putting your own specials out
Aye,
as part of your podcast.
so the specials you see on podcasts and stuff like that.
Aye, like obviously people are always looking for your Netflix deals and this kind of stuff, but
aye.
like a lot of the podcast guys are just putting that out on their own podcast channels now.
Which is good, which is great. Like I was talking about that, you know, the kind of pleasance rip people off, and somebody was saying like the day on when I posted that on Facebook, going, that happens, but the thing is, we don't need them anymore.
Yeah.
We don't need these big robbing bastard.
That's what I was going to say when you were
promoters, 'cause
talking about.
you can do it yourself now, like doing podcasts and building your own social media. You can do
Aye.
everything yourself now.
But it's still in terms of these promoters ripping comedians off. Like I was going to say, like there needs to be a change in the industry, but that is kind of happening. I
Aye.
would say to an extent,
Aye.
there's always going to be those people that go for that because they want
Aye.
to be on the telly.
I mean, I'd imagine like this. I mean, I do go down to the Pleasance, and the rooms are good. So I can. There might be, if you've got the money to spare, you can do that, and it maybe gives you like a boost in terms of industry, like in terms of getting certain gigs. It might be a good sacrifice to make, but for me, who like I've got to pay bills and shit like that, it's hard.
Aye, it's weighing up what you're going to get out of it because
Aye.
like, there's going to be, you're more likely to get, you know, a big time reviewer in that could then a good review
know.
from them will lead to something bigger. But
possibly.
will it really?
I know,
It might not.
I know. See, a lot of some of the good reviewers, like one of the kind of, there's a reviewer, Katie Copstick. She does all the PBH free venues now,
All right, okay.
and she's like a big, like she was like kind of feared for a lot of big comedians over the years,
Right.
who now does the PBH free Fringe shows. And she came to see me like the year of the just after the COVID.
2021.
And the only reason she came, like, because I'm not a smoozer, I don't do PR, I don't do all this. So I was lucky. The only reason she came to see me that year is because there was fuck all else on.
It's the same reason I came to your show last year.
Oh,
But-
thanks, mate. Thanks.
Oh, look what it's led to.
Look
Come on.
where it's led to. But you know, it's kind of. She came to see me that year and she liked it. She wrote me a 4-star review, a good review. And she's been kind of keeping an eye on me ever since.
That's good.
We're kind of pals now, which is cool. But that's a wee bit of luck. But she's all for kind of the free Fringe, kind of, because she wants to see comedians that can't afford to do these big venues to do well.
Aye.
Because a lot of the best comedians are fucking rough as fuck, and like Richard Pryor came from a shitty background, and you know
A lot of the best comedians
like
come
Conley.
from working class. Kevin Bridges, all these kind of.
Kevin Bridges, aye.
But like I think a lot of them like their comedy comes from
Oh, totally.
the sort of situations they've grown up in comedies, and just laughter is like the only thing they've got to
Aye.
provide people. You
Aye.
know?
I mean, do you remember, like, we go back to that ayahuasca episode? What episode was that? This is when we do callbacks, 11 or 12 or something like that.
I want to say 12. Or was that Thor?
Can't remember, 11 or 12. But
13.
anyway, so now I got a wee list of insights and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
This wee gang, I didn't see a lot of stuff. Like, and the thing I got from it was like everything. And I think this is quite cool. I need to remind myself of this sometimes, because sometimes you ever find yourself in that victim mentality a wee bit. I think we all do. Sometimes you get that kind of.
Oh, yeah.
If that didn't happen, this wouldn't happen. If I wasn't born in fucking Woody's bum, that fucking wee voice. Shut up, you whingy cunt. That fucking arsehole. If I didn't, my parents never loved me enough. I never got enough encouragement to take it home. Just get a job. Don't be a comedian. Don't be the fucking. That wee voice in your head is a fucking dick. Sorry, I'm all ranty today, right? But the thing is, like, so the kind of thing I wrote down was everything. And I mean, this is how I feel. This is not like telling people that shit things that have happened that I can't even imagine to think this way. But the way I thought about it was everything that's ever happened to me, like nothing that bad's happened to me, right? Everything that's ever happened that's pissed me off or made me feel inferior, everything is good.
Because it's led you to now.
It's led you to now. So you can. So it's like there's a book called The Alchemist, and it's like turning everything into gold.
I've read about half of The Alchemist. I like it.
Right. So it's the idea of going right. Everything that's fucking like you can use it and go right. Fuck, that was a bit shit that time, but let's use it.
Yeah.
Let's use it, man, and turn it into fucking gold, man.
Yeah, I like that.
You know what I mean? Right. So for example, right, did you see right, you need to watch this. So if you're out there, did you see there's a thing on Netflix I posted the other day called Baby Reindeer?
I saw you'd posted, and I did see it when I was scrolling through Netflix the other day. I've not watched it.
So it's a guy who's a comedian, right? Richard Pryor, my mate Richard. So Richard Gadd, who I've known for years. I know him quite well. He lives in London now. I bump into him in Edinburgh now and again. And he wrote a show called Baby Reindeer. It's fucking amazing, man. And he'd done it as a Fringe show years ago.
Right.
So he'd done a Fringe show, and I think it won awards and shit. It was just amazing. And he was just a comedian who was like anti-comedy, kind of silly shit I seen him doing. And it was like sometimes brilliant, but one of they kind of gigs. So it was just, but the thing is with Richard, he always took chances,
right,
which was brilliant. And he would take chances at gigs. He wouldn't just do a normal kind of stick. He would do stuff different for everybody else. And sometimes amazing, sometimes down its hole. But that's the beauty of how good he is. And that Baby Reindeer show. So this is part of it. Going on to what I want to talk about is how to do well at the Fringe.
Right.
So Richard done a PBH free Fringe venue, this show, which I think won the best show, like maybe 5 years ago. And it was about a stalker.
Right.
Right.
Oh, I seen you'd posted like the women that played the stalkers.
She was fucking brilliant.
Too good at it.
I don't know the actor's name, but she was amazing in it. Richard was great as well, but the woman that played the stalker was scarily good, man.
Aye.
She was like, so basically, like Richard's a kind of good looking guy, and he worked in a pub, but he was also doing stand up. So he was in a kind of competition. This woman kind of took a liking to him, kind of older woman, you know, and the whole story's brilliant. And but so the point was like, but he done the free Fringe years ago. I think he was maybe doing Banshee Labyrinth.
Oh, right, okay.
Right, so no cost, so very little cost. He'd pay for flyers, maybe small PR or something. But he had a great year that year because he started off. What makes a show good in Edinburgh is word of mouth.
Yeah.
So he started off just doing the show. He maybe just got a wee handful full of people in. But people went, "Holy fuck, this is good." Spreads, and then by the end of the run, because it's a free Fringe venue, queues.
Aye.
Fucking queues of hundreds of people, and obviously they had to come out and go, right, listen, nobody's going to get out in past this point.
Right.
And he'd have made a fortune that year because how the free Fringe works, you don't pay for the venue. You could pay, like I've not been. You pay for the Edinburgh Festival brochure if you want. I've not been in it for years. And it's like 350 quid, which is reasonable enough because you get in the brochure. I'll probably get on the app this year, so that helps.
I think you were on it last year.
I was on it last year.
I'm sure I saw you on it.
And so you pay the PBH free Fringe. They've got a wee brochure. You give them you just get into that. You don't have to pay them, but you pay a contribution. So it's usually you usually give them 100 quid.
Yeah.
And I pay for flyers, and I get flyers, like 5,000 flyers for like 50 quid.
Aye. So a lot of that's just cost that you deal with yourself. It's not to do with the Fringe. It's just
so my whole outlayings of the Fringe is last year accommodation. I got a cupboard, 500 quid.
It'll do the job.
I mean, it was a cupboard with a big couch in it. I had my shower, washing machine, kitchen.
So you need it.
10-minute walk to where I was going.
Still better than getting a train back and forward every day and not being able to stay out at night type thing. So
flyers, 50 quid. I bought some pop-up banners, which maybe cost about 60 quid. They just sat outside the venue.
Right.
I had a flyer who was phenomenal. I paid him 50 quid an hour plus bonus was a fiver or a tenner, and I'd buy him a few pints if you're doing a good job.
Enough.
So that was a cost. And another thing, getting good at flyering as well is important.
Yeah.
And there's points to that as well. This is good for anybody that's listening, that's doing the Fringe, man. So I'd say there's three 3 steps of being good at flying.
This one's going to be a clip. Here we go.
This is good, man. No, it's true. It's true, man. And I think this works. And I realised this. I've been trying to learn a bit more about promotion and stuff. Like reading a lot of books. Guy called Russell Brunson. There's different stuff. Just I'm into because I'm trying to promote myself a bit more. Yeah. So there's 3 steps of being good at flying. I think this are for any advertising.
Right.
I think even for this podcast, right? The first one is get their attention.
Okay.
So that for us, it's the thumbnail plus the headline.
Yeah, like
gets their attention. So the first thing, like in Edinburgh, is getting their attention, especially if you're not known. If you're a big name, you're going to get people into your venue anyway.
Aye, but when you're walking down the Royal Mile and it's just hundreds of guys like, come to this comedy show.
Come to this.
I'm just walking through them going,
no
no interested, this. Fuck off, no interested. No, I'm trying to go to Wings. I want Wings. Fuck off.
I want spicy wings. There's that. I want spicy wings. Aye, grab their attention. One of my best years. I've done well in the last few years, but I done post-it notes one year.
All right.
So grab their attention, right? So post-it notes. So basically, I was doing sneaky peeks, and they were all coming down the street. Hundreds of cunts. Sometimes nobody on a Wednesday.
Starting a wee poem there. Doing sneaky peeks, walking down the street.
Doing sneaky peeks. See, I'm a rapper as well. I was doing sneaky peeks, walking down the street. And every person I meet, I gave them a flyer, which was a post-it note. I don't know. I'm not a Ren will be shiting himself. That wee guy Ren. Right.
Nobody on a rap battle anytime soon.
Nah, no, I'm good at rap battles. Because I'm actually good at rap battles. I do them. Aye. I'm not good at rapping, but
good at battling.
Aye, but it's not about that. If it's funny, it's funny. So it's being shite at rapping's kind of funny. So that works that way. So that year I had post-it notes, and I used to sit for an hour before I went out flying and write Obie the fuck it list, Sneaky Pete's 3:45. Obie the fuck it list, and I'd do that, take an hour to write enough post-it notes.
Right.
And it was like a ritual. Now we've done like rituals.
Yeah.
And people were always saying, like, why don't you get them printed? I went, nah, that's no authentic. That's no, like, it felt like a real thing to me.
I was thinking that as you said that, but I know what you mean. If I saw one and I'd be like, that's a printout that looks like that.
Aye.
And it's not the same.
And do you know the first time I'd done it? It was basically because it was a panic. Because I'm a shambles, right? You probably know that, Kris. Sometimes I leave things last minute and I go, fuck, I've not, you're meant to do things and you go, for fuck's sake, I've not done that thing that I was meant to do. You know what I mean? Like pay your mortgage. I've left my mortgage. I forgot to pay my mortgage for 3 months. Shit. The sheriff office comes in. Right, I need to pay that. Fuck, you know what I mean? So I'm always last minute with shit. So basically, it was like 2 days before the Fringe. I was like, fuck, I've not ordered flyers yet. This should have been organised ages ago. So I'm kind of onto the guy that does my flyer. Like the guy that does my flyer, he's cheap as well. He's good, but he's reasonable.
Right.
I was like, listen, these flyers, mate, you do them. I mean, he was coming up to the Fringe and all, so he didn't have much time. So it took him like a wee while just because I fucking hadn't asked him enough time. So I eventually got it done, and it wasn't going to be till about 3 or 4 days in until I got my flyers. But it was just purely my fault because I'm a fanny. So what I thought was, fuck it, what do I do?
Wait.
Yes!
It's been a while.
It's been a while. So I thought, fuck it, let's get some post-it notes. So the first day, even that, I thought about this an hour before my show. And there's shit, I've got nowhere to go. Ran past Staples or something like that. Or one of the Ryman's, and I grabbed some post-it notes. And I was actually, the first day, it was a Saturday, and it was busy. And I was going, fuck. I was writing them out, going, come to my show. And people, because I was writing them and handing them out, it kind of created a buzz.
Aye. Catch their attention.
So it kind of created a buzz, but I was being funny. Look, come to the fuck it list. People are going, look at this mad bastard with flyers, with post-it notes.
But it does kind of suit your persona as well, like for what you do on stage.
Aye. So it did. So I was talking to them and going, this is my show. Is it any good? I would tell them it was shite, but that made them laugh. Yeah. So that's one way. Right. So grab their attention. Post-it notes works. There's people I've seen dressing up. So there was a guy Leo Kris, right? He's got a bit controversial. I like him. He used to do a show called Pun Man. It was a show about puns, but he used to call himself Pun Man. Right. And he had he's a big tall guy. He dressed up as like a superhero, a big P. It was like Pun Man.
Or like the Riddler.
Aye, like the Riddler. And he just stand out the street and tell puns to people on the way by. He'd ask people thinking they would do puns, and that would grab their attention rather than just somebody normal with a flyer.
Aye.
So there has to be something that you grab their attention. So the first one, grab their attention, headline, a gimmick, something.
I don't think I've ever really seen anyone do that in terms of flyering. Whenever I've seen anyone flyering, it's like I say, it's just somebody going to come to this and I'm fuck off.
Aye, and there's another guy, I'm trying to get other examples, a guy Nigel, who runs a show, he wasn't there the last couple of years, called The Worst Show on the Fringe.
Right.
And it's a good show, it's basically a show where it gets people on, like good comedians on, who've had 1-star reviews over the years.
Alright, okay.
Right, and I get to go on that because I got a 1-star review one year. Right.
Was it deserved?
Oh, fuck aye, it was shite. It was... it was shite. So it was in Melbourne. Right, I need to mention this now. So, Melbourne, 2012. Aye, 2012. And I was in, like, where I was like up an alleyway.
Right.
And there was a row of bins. And one side of the street there was like a peep show, and there was like a strip club peep show kind of thing. And the other side, up 5 flights of stairs, was my venue.
Right.
So I couldn't get MD in, right? So I got a reviewer in. The show was alright. I mean, I wasn't that good. It was, but the show I got, I knew, they tell you, the reviewers told me was coming for the Melbourne Herald.
Right.
So in that show, I think there was maybe 3 people I knew there. Because they knew, I went, listen, I'm getting a reviewer. There's people that come down to fill the room up. But the people that came
Fill it up.
to fill it up were the only people there. So there was no actual audience members. So there was like Craig Shinak, a big American guy who lives in America. He's been on a few movies and shit. There was Alex Petty, If You're Laughing Horse, was there.
Right.
Yeah, and then maybe somebody else. There's maybe 3 or 4 people I knew. Maybe one. I don't know. I can't remember if it was on it. And 2 reviewers from the fucking Melbourne Herald, and they hated every minute of it, right? And I just like, it was just like I couldn't. It's hard to get a gig with a small amount of crowd. I thought I'd done all right, but I clearly didn't. I was delusional as fuck. So I got a review there, and I was like, fucking thanks for coming, lads. I thought I've got a decent review out of this, but I was being delusional. And the quote I've got from it, right? 1-star review from the Melbourne Herald. I've got the whole thing. You can read the whole thing, but I don't want to. But the quote I've
Still
got from
online?
it.
What if I find it?
Oh no, leave it, man. Leave it. It's fuck.
I won't read it. I'm just interested.
No, don't put it away now until after the episode. No, don't. You'll put me off. Stop it. Stop it. You can't. Right. So the quote I've got. I've never actually used that poster. The worst thing to come out of Scotland since Begbie.
I like Begbie.
I know, but like, apparently I'm worse than Begbie. But
Oh dear.
so where was I there?
Reviewers.
All right, so now how to flyer.
All right. Yeah.
So the first thing is grab their attention from whatever means you want.
Mm-hmm.
So I've seen guys. So Nigel, the worst show, the Fringe guy, just goes out shouting on one of the megaphone things.
On one of these.
Megaphone. Worst show in the Fringe. Come and see the best show in the Fringe. It wasn't as camp as that, but it was like, worst. So he'd be shouting and bawling on the. He didn't actually use a megaphone. He was just dead loud.
Right. Okay.
All right. So no, he just shouts. He was out shouting on the road, being dead loud, and that's what you need to do. So that's how we are grabbing attention. And I've seen guys beatbox and shit.
Okay.
And there used to be a guy outside. Do you know the Tron?
Oh yeah.
So there used to be a guy years ago, and he was amazing. Like, he was a guitar player, like yourself, one of yours, like, but he'd play guitar, but sing, improvise songs about what was happening.
Right. Okay.
So he'd basically be like that wee bit. Do you know that wee bit? It's quite busy there.
That's where you get all the buskers with the chainsaws
Aye, you
and
know
all
that
that.
bit with the buskers.
And there was
that.
the wee Tony Macaroni pizza van last year.
Aye. So it was there. It was years ago though. That we're busy. There's people coming from all angles. A few streets kind of joining in that.
Aye, because you've got like just off the Royal Mile, you've got coming up for Monkey Barrow and
Aye.
that. You've got coming down for the other bit of the Globe and all
Aye.
that. So
it was well before the Monkey
it's a wee
Barrow though.
hub.
So it was years ago. But he was out there, and what he would do, he would sing, and basically sing what's going on in the street, taking the piss out of people in the street.
Okay.
So people are walking by going, and she's walking by with this girl who's going to dump him next week. Shit, just sit like I kind of do it. And it was just funny as fuck. And they'd gather a wee crowd, And eventually go, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, I've got a show starting here in 15 minutes downstairs. If you want to come in, it's a £10 a ticket. And just crowd would just come in.
And was it that kind of thing he was doing, like musical comedy?
I think so. I didn't actually see it, but it was just, I'd imagine, but it was just got that. People in, come in to see a show.
Aye, fair enough.
So that grab your attention. So first thing, grab their attention to engage with them.
Right.
So some kind of communication.
Don't just hand them a flyer, you need to give them a wee bit
Oh,
of
totally, man. So if I stop somebody and start chatting to them, so if I stop them first, they stop and talk to me, there's a good chance they're coming to the show.
Yeah.
So the people.
And then you might gather a wee crowd from that because people are like, what's going on here?
Aye. So if I stop them, so I'm actually better flying in a crowd than individuals.
Yeah.
So it's like a wee mini gig. So stop people, come to the show, and go, all right, what's it about? And see if I've got 3 or 4 there, and I can banter with 3 or 4, and kind of bounce them off each other.
You'll pique some interest.
There's a good chance I'll get them in.
Aye.
So one, grabbing attention. 2, engage, which could be like a wee mini gig. It could be telling a story. There was I remember last year or a couple of years ago, there was I always thought it was about being loud. Right? But there was a young girl I used to see out flyering for somebody doing the free Fringe, and she was dead quiet. But
Yes.
she was dead quiet. But she'd come down and go like that. She'd ask you questions. And she'd start telling you stories about the gig. And she's quiet but engaging.
It wasn't her gig, she was flying for somebody
I was
else.
flying for somebody else. She obviously knew the person or knew about the show.
Oh, yeah.
And she'd just tell you a whole story about the show.
All right.
And she was pretty good. I mean, I didn't go to that show, but I could just tell the way she engaged. Well, she's good at that. But she wouldn't. I don't think she'd be good for my show, but probably for the type of show she was selling.
Aye, like you want something.
Somebody
as you were
with
saying,
that
that's-
percentage. So I want somebody that's quite loud and in your face. So that, and then so 1, grab attention. 2, engage. Could be by telling them a story, having a conversation, making them laugh.
Yep.
And the third thing, the last thing is a call to action. Tell them what to do.
Right. So whether that's just the venue, time and location.
Aye. So my show's there. Come down. 9 o'clock.
Fair enough.
And it's good outside the venue. I was good at it because the show's called the Fuck It List. So I was good outside the venue. I'm good at getting people last minute.
Yeah.
So I got, ladies and gentlemen, my show's starting in 5 minutes. Here it is, grab it, blah, 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 talk to them, blah, blah. It's called the Fuck It List. That means you just say fuck it and just go for it. And see that subliminal message thing. You just say fuck it and just do it. And the amount of people just go, all right, just wander in. They go, just fuck it and just do it. And that's a wee subconscious thing that I've learned to do.
Aye.
And that's how the show Fuck It List sells a wee bit. You go, fuck it, and you just go, aye, fuck it, yes, fuck it. The guy goes, the guy saying, fuck it.
The next show could be called Shite Bag if you didn't.
That could be, aye. But I just think it's fascinating. I think any sales or advertising's like that.
Aye, a wee subliminal.
No, it's just the 3 steps. Any advert you see on TV, they grab your attention, they tell you, they bring you in and go, by the way, if you like this, do this.
Call to action thing, aye.
Could be like, just follow this page,
Yeah, or
buy this thing.
do they try and make you think you need this thing?
There's that as well. I mean, there's advertising can be evil. That
Like
as
if
well.
it was like this, you'd be like, it's fucking pissing downside moaning. So you'd get a wee
Aye.
heat.
Oh, God, I've had many a year like that. See that sometimes, maybe if you're on the Cowgate 5 minutes before your show, a downpour comes down, you're like, fucking yes.
Everyone's just
Aye.
looking for shelter.
But I guess the only danger with that is getting the right people in. Because you know what's good with the post-it notes?
Aye.
The good thing with the post-it notes, because it had on it the fuck it list. And if I gave it to somebody and they thought, no, that's unprofessional, I was like, I don't want you. You're a boring bastard. So see if I get it to you, go, oh, you're fucking mental. I like you.
Aye.
You know, you're the kind of guy I want. And the fuck it list, you're off your head. That's a good idea. That's unique. That's the kind of people. The people that looked at it going, this guy's not even trying.
The ones that are coming to the Fringe for the art.
Aye. So, but the guys that see the kind of authenticity in it and the kind of madness in it,
Yeah.
they're more likely to come in.
It's funny how much there is in that wee mental scrambled post-it note. Like how much is actually in that.
Aye.
Like of who you are.
Aye, no, it works a treat, man. And I was thinking, like, I mean,
That sums you up. A scribbled post-it note.
aye, because it sells, but that sells who I'm.
Aye.
I
No, that's a good idea.
Aye, I've not done it the last few years. I'm a bit like, I think, because it's like the pain in the arse doing it now or before. So I might actually start writing them now. Like do like 100 a day. And then
But you'll forget, and then you'll be there in the day going, fuck's sake.
Aye, fuck's sake, aye. But it worked brilliant. And the thing is, you know what happened to me? Like, I think I'd done that for about 5 years. And people come back the following year going, you're that fucking post-it note guy.
Aye.
And people will remember it. So it
Aye,
can
having
to the buzz.
having like a thing that you're the one person that did it. That's
As
what
opposed-
everyone's looking for. Even just like as a comedian, you're looking for something to be a bit different and stand out in it.
Oh, totally, man. It's just going to work. I don't know why I've not done it. It's just been lazy. And I mean, getting the flyer is good. Getting a good flyer works as well. But I might get back to the post notes this year just because it works.
Right, so
Plus, this podcast is going to get like 1 million subscribers. It's going to be busy anyway. I won't need flyers.
aye, between now and August, we'll book a room to do a live podcast.
Aye, we'll get the assembly rooms for one night for 1,000 seaters. £100 a ticket.
Yeah, no, 59.
59. Aye. Aye, so right, so we're talking about the Fringe again, right? So I'm trying to get out how to be successful in the Fringe.
Yes.
So that's about getting people in. Like that's about getting people in, which works. But
Then you want more people, and you want to be,
aye.
you want people to come back.
So tell people to tell people as well. So when you're in doing your show, but by the way, the show has to be good. If you're a shite comedian, this will only work, right?
That's essential.
Aye, so that is true, right? So you need to be decent at what you do. So I mean, I can't. There's no much. I mean, you just need to work at it. If you're a shite comedian, get out and actually work on gigs. Like you're a good comedian. You've only done 1 minute.
I thought you were going to say,
But-
if you're a shite comedian like Kris.
No, the thing is, like you've done one gig, you've done well, but to be able to do an hour, you need to go out and do hundreds of gigs for a couple of years. That's just how it works.
I'm gonna.
You're going to cast my back over, man. I'll be playing the guitar. We'll just swap careers. I'll become the musician, and you'll be doing the gigs. So be good. Engage with and make the hour kind of like I think make the hour different, like up and down.
Yours is very flowy, and it's not.
It's not the same all the way through.
That's what I was going to say.
Because I think maybe sometimes I've seen people do like an hour of one-liners and it's just boring as fuck.
It is. There's some people.
Some
that's
people are
their
good at-
thing. There's only maybe 2 people I've seen that are good at that.
Who's you like?
One-liners like Tim Vine.
Tim Vine, he's
And
good because
then-
he's mental as well though. He's nuts.
Who's the other guy? Gary
Delaney.
Delaney.
Oh, aye, they're pretty good. It's a tough one, but if you got somebody a one-liner that's kind of monotone for an hour, 10 minutes is good, but then it's like you
I
can
don't think I think I have watched like a full special of Tim Vine, and he is like that the whole way through. I've just seen really clips of Gary Delaney, so I don't know if he does a full show of that.
But he's got loads of energy as well, though, Gary Delaney, isn't he? So I get it. Jimmy Carr's kind of one-liner, but he's got stories and stuff as well, isn't he? He's got a good mixture of different things, isn't he?
Yeah, I've seen him live once. He was really good.
Aye. Right, so the other way to make successful at the Fringe is right. So don't get ripped off, like unless you've got money to waste and you think it's going to help you with your like TV career, getting an agent and all that. Fair enough, go and do the pleasance. But I mean, I think if you're, the thing is these days you can build your own audience up.
Yeah.
These days you can cut out these greedy middlemen. Like the guys with the cigars, I can make you a star. That's what I like.
Do you get a lot of people come every year to yours?
Aye. So I've kind of built up a decent wee crowd.
Aye.
People come and see me every year. So
But also a good amount of just randoms off the street.
aye,
Good mix.
but there's a hell of a lot of word of mouth, which is good.
Aye.
So there's like a lot of people that will come and see me because somebody's seen them. Because I'll specifically, when I'm on a good roll, I'll specifically say to people, "If you enjoyed this, can you help me out?" And
Aye.
tell people to come and see me.
So do you find your first week of shows tend to be a bit quieter and it starts
Well,
getting busier, or what?
Well, can do, aye. I mean, because I've got good at it, that generally happens. The first week can be quiet, but then a wee bit of word of mouth
Aye.
kind of helps out. Plus, like I do loads of spots.
Oh, like on other shows?
Aye, so I generally there's one I do like 11 o'clock every day if I can get on, which I usually do. It's called an Irish breakfast, which I'm not specifically Irish. But it's hard to get Irish comedians at 11 o'clock in the morning.
Your
'cause they're
name's
all pissed.
O'Brien, that's enough.
Aye, so
Surely.
I usually get on. I'll maybe do a quick 5. So Chris O'Neill usually lets me do a 5 on that.
Does your surname need to be O something to get on?
I think so. Aye. I don't. Where's Penn from? That's no Irish, is it?
No, but my grand's Irish. Her side's Pickering. That was the
All right,
Irish
you
side.
can get on there. I'll say to Chris. Aye. So usually get on that, which is good at 11 o'clock. He gets an alright wee crowd at that time. Usually get a few for that.
When you say the Irish breakfast, do people eat breakfast while watching it?
No, they don't eat breakfast. He gets
Pint of Guinness.
No, some of them have Guinness, but he gives them pigs, the wee chewy pig, the wee sweeties pigs.
Oh, the M&S ones, Percy pigs.
Percy pig. So there's wee Percy pigs and there's wee bacon things. I think he's got wee. Aye, so you get. No, it's the wee Percy pigs and wee eggs.
Oh, the fried eggs.
Wee fried eggs.
Bacon and eggs for your breakfast.
Aye, that's what it is. Aye.
Well, I'll be coming to that.
Aye, that's basically a bacon and egg. So I come to the gig. That's my wages for that gig. I just have some breakfast.
Been paid less.
So I definitely aye. Paid, I mean, that's, believe it or not, doing Chris's gig for free and getting bacon and eggs is more than I would make in a full run at the Pleasance.
No,
It is.
Oh, I know, you would lose.
I'd lose,
thousands.
man. Fucking hell. You're losing a few £100 a day or something like that. I'm having a dig at the Pleasance again. I'll probably have the mafia, the comedy mafia out shooting me now. So, aye, getting good at flyering is an art.
Aye,
So things to get good at: flyering, doing a show, and the bucket speech is fucking important.
Yeah.
Like, see the bucket speech at the end, that's fucking vital, and it took me a few years to get good at that.
Aye.
And see what you say at the end, because I've seen, like, I remember, like, I was doing the Beehive years ago, so I mean, I've generally done kind of free stroke, pay what you want stuff for years, and I've always made a profit. I think it's been very rare that I've not made at least some profit in Edinburgh, even since I started. I mean, even the first year we made a few £100 each, because it was 4 years, and it was a paid one, so that was like tickets,
right.
But we didn't pay much for the venue, so it was a decent deal. We bet the Monkey Barrel are a decent deal. I'm not sure exactly, but they're quite fair to the acts. There's a few good promoters out there that I mean, but there's just a few that are rip-off bastards. And so was the bucket? So the bucket speech. You know what I dreamed the other night, Kris? I had a dream, right, about Karen Dunbar.
What kind of dream?
No, isn't one of them.
I don't think you're a type.
No, I'm not. I'm definitely not. Which actually, I done a warm up for one of her gigs last year, but I didn't meet her because it was weird. Because it was like I was just warming up because she was running late, and I just sat at the back. I just never got to meet her, but she was doing like a talk thing. She was great, but I'd done the warm up for her.
Right.
But that was irrelevant, right? So I had a dream that I was at the Edinburgh Festival, and she was in the audience,
right?
And she kept interrupting and being a dick. So
heckling you?
Oh no, aye, she was being a dick, right? And she's not a dick, she's lovely, right? She's lovely. But she was being a dick and she was up dancing with me and shit, trying to take over the show. And I was like, Carl, people were walking out and shit. And I was I don't know where the fuck does this come in the subconscious mind? Because I think she's great, I think she's amazing, but she was just being a dick in my dream. And then at the end I was doing my bucket speech, which I've done for years and I'm good at. And while I was doing it, she was, Obie, don't say that, you're doing that wrong. She was interrupting my bucket speech and I get fuck all money. And then she was, because I get fuck all money, she said, I told you were doing it wrong. I was because you were interrupting me, you bitch. So
this wasn't like a premonition and she's going to appear at the
maybe
Fringe.
she is, aye. That'd be cool if she did. But you know what I mean? So Karen Dunbar, if you're out there, come at my gig and ruin it. So that's weird, isn't it, how you have dreams like that? So the bucket speech, it took me a few years to get good at it, and it's a skill in itself, because one thing that people do in it, and they try to be too funny with it.
Aye.
Which kind of takes away. So I think with a good bucket speech, like you've done your show, and like the end is like a transaction. So you know we've got a comedy persona. So it's like at the end you kind of drop the persona just a wee bit.
Aye.
So it's like there's a show. This is the invoice bit now.
Right.
But without being too transactional, go, by the way, that was a good show. Did you enjoy the show? Yes, I agree with you. Enjoy the show, right? Cool. Well, I'll do my speech. Right, I'll do my speech. I don't do it exact. So this is the free Fringe, right? Have you enjoyed it? And I love doing the free Fringe because it's like, it allows guys like me to be able to do this, because years ago I couldn't afford to fucking pay a fortune for the Fringe. We get the venue for free, the bar gets, so I set it all up. So we get the venue for free. We don't pay for PBH apart from a donation we give them. The bar money gets the beer, the bar gets the beer money, and this is important, but you guys get to pay what you think it's worth. So basically, like it's like getting them to say yes to a load of things.
Aye, try and get them to agree, like.
So you get to see a show, you get to take a chance in a show you've not seen before. Cool. You get the bar getting the money, brilliant. the venue get and you get to pay what you think it's worth. They go, fair, and then I say, fair enough. And then I say, right, you can go to the Gilded Balloon, the Underbelly, all these venues. You could pay 20 quid. Always start at 20 quid, right? You pay 20 quid for a show, it might be shite. You know, fair enough. You've wasted your money. You come here, you get to pay what you think it's worth.
Yeah.
And then I'll say, by the way, I think I'm worth at least the same or more than some of these posh cunts. Never we dig. But some of these guys might be just up there, some posh cunt doing a PowerPoint presentation. And that's sometimes what it is, right? Some of them are brilliant at it, but I just having a wee dig and they kind of have a laugh. Then I do a wee impression of a PowerPoint presentation going bad. It says, but I think I'm worth more than them. And they kind of go, fair enough. So all I'm asking for a donation is, all I'm asking for is 50 quid each. And that kind of gets a laugh, but no, I'm not aiming for dead funny here. But genuinely, I think I'm worth 20 quid. I say that, but I'd be happy with a tenner. So I start with 50.
Aye.
I'm not going to get 50, but I think I'm worth 20. But I'd be happy with a tenner, so I'm bringing that down to make a tenner not sound good. I'd at least a fiver of your skint. So because I'm bringing it down, a fiver doesn't sound like much.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of comedians start at a fiver, go, all I want is a fiver. And if you start at that, but if you put the suggestion at the bigger amount, and I do get a lot of 20s,
Aye.
mostly tenors. And sometimes people give me a fiver and they apologise, like, fuck off. But then maybe you get students with a few quid and say, I've only got 3 quid, mate. But, you know, that's how it works. But with that speech, if the show's good, people will genuinely, because you probably find that if you go to a show that was good, you go, fucking hell, well done, mate.
Aye. I've been to quite a few that's like I've paid for the ticket anyway. Like, see some of the guys I've seen at like Monkey Barrel or whatever. You pay for the ticket,
and then you give
but they keep, I think at every one of these shows they keep like 10 tickets just for walk-ins.
Aye.
So they do the speech at the end anyway, and they say it's because like I know a lot of you have paid anyway, but there's like 10 walk-in tickets at least. So anyone that's not paid, they do that kind of speech. Pay what you think it's worth. They're obviously hoping that everyone that paid anyway, and I have done for a few of them, like a few that I've maybe paid between £10 and £20 for a ticket. If I've really enjoyed it, I'll give them another 10 or whatever.
I mean, it's a good system. It's a good system. It works, doesn't it? It seems to work. Aye. Aye.
Have you ever had like a mental, somebody giving you 50 or more?
Aye.
I've seen, I think there's some laugh. They did a wee like documentary thing behind the scenes at the Fringe one day, and somebody at Stuart McPherson's gave him £100 after the bucket speech.
Well, we got there's a couple like that I remember, right? So the first one, it was like years ago. I was doing a late night show in the Beehive.
Right.
It was maybe 11 o'clock or something like that, 10:30 I think it was, and it was usually after, like, so we Jocks, Geordies and Aussies has always been 8:15 and Whistle Binkies.
Right.
So we've had this at 9:15, and so I was on it. I'm sure I was on the Beehive at 10:30 every night. Mm-hmm. Which I don't like doing because I like to finish at Jocks and Geordies because I'm there with a few mates and we can chill out after that, have a beer.
Yeah.
So I like to try, and if I've got another show this year, I like to have it before Jocks and Geordies. But there was one night I was fucked. Just been on the drink, hangover from the night before, and I was going up to the gig and I says to Dan, but no, have you met Dan? I don't you've met Dan.
Not met him, but right. You've obviously spoke about him.
So Dan, I says, Dan, listen, do you want to come up to my solo show with me? I'm fucked. Like, do you want to we'll do half an hour each? Let's just have a laugh. You know. I was like, aye, fuck it, let's go up. And I was a bit fucked, right? So basically Dan went on first, did half an hour, kind of warm up, he's good with crowd work and stuff, and then I went on, did half an hour, we had a good laugh, but it saved me with my hangovers only. I didn't get pissed. But anyway, out, some guy put a 50 quid note in.
Right.
So, and we got a photo of it, we just, it was like, fucking £50 note. And this was a gig that I couldn't be bothered doing. I could have pulled that night. So we got that, and then last year, There was a and the guy was subtle with it. You usually find people that give you a decent amount are kind of they're not showing off. Although some people that give you a 20, they've got that ego. They like showing it in front of the other crowd, which is a good thing. They kind of do that. Look, I'm getting my 20. Look at me. I'm the big man. Which I don't mind. After the ego works, he gives me the money. It's cool. So there was a gig like and the Jocks, Geordies and Aussies gig. There was like a few American guys who had a few quid. I can't remember what they mentioned what they did, but they had a few quid. You could tell these get out rich, and they put $100 bill in it,
Aye.
in the bucket.
And you're like, that's no use to me.
Aye, but I didn't notice it. So they came here and done it subtly though. They weren't like big about it. They just went done it subtly. And I went, I said to them, did you just buy $100? And I went, aye, thanks, mate. Fucking thanks, man. So that was quite cool.
And you're off to the travel agents to try and get it exchanged.
Aye, that was good. Aye, so it's good that way. But you got to make them. You got to. I mean, the show's got to be good, and you got to believe. You got to believe in your own value as well.
Oh, aye.
Because I seen, I remember doing the Beehive years ago. I was on early 12:30, which was a decent slot. But there's two rooms there. There was a load of students.
I've been in the upstairs, I think.
So I think I was upstairs that year. There was a load of students in the middle room. So there was maybe 4 or 5 of them.
Right.
So they were killing the flyering, man. They were good, but they were all out flyering. So they were getting the decent crowds in, and I had to work my balls off to get a crowd in. So there was one day I had to pull a show because I never got enough in.
Right.
So I was like, fuck it. I got on well with them. So there was no hassles there. It was just the 4 of them worked together. It was just it was. So I was like, fuck it. I'll just get in and watch these guys. I just went and sat in the back of the room, watched the show. Good. They were all good. And then
was it like stand up they were doing?
Aye. So just 4 students, 4 or 5 of them doing stand up. It was a good show, really good show. They were all dead young, kind of new, but it was better than our show that we done 2004. It was better than that shit. But these guys were good, right? And I seen them one day, and the show was good. It was a packed room, and at the end, what they did was, went, by the way, this is a free show. Like me, don't want to hassle you or anything, but there's a bucket on the side there. If you want to put if you want to put some change in, do what you want. If not, don't worry about it. and they get fuck all. They didn't get much.
Because they weren't selling themselves.
And I fucking gave them shit for it, man.
We think they're worth this.
Aye, and I says, listen, that was a fucking good show. Don't under fucking sell yourself at the end.
Aye.
And I was like, you need to fucking ask for money. You need to ask what it was worth.
Yeah.
Because that was a fucking great show. You deserved a tenner each or a fiver each off of these people, but you kind of half-assed it. And if you ask for people to give, if they want, they're not going to give you it.
Yeah.
But if I'm kind of forceful, no forceful, but
Suggestive.
Aye, no, but if you're honest, I believe I'm honest about it. I said, by the way, I mean, I get a good chance to make some good money during August. You know, I do it for a living. I mean, I've got Just Eat as well, but this is part of my living. I mean, I can use it for a tour, and people go, fucking fair enough, mate, because you've worked hard.
Aye, because saying like, we'll take some change if you've got it, that's like, compared to, realistically, if you're saying it's a good comedy show, which you would normally pay between 10 and 20, maybe more, for a ticket to something like that.
Aye,
make it known.
Aye, so that's how I go. So I go for now you were talking about the persona thing. Mm-hmm. So I've got my comedy persona who did the show, and then I kind of a change to transactional guy, which is still similar, but it's just like a different character. So by the way, that's what I think it's worth it. I kind of go a wee bit serious. I do this for a living, but I drop the funny there. Right. The only line I get, I think I'm worth. All I'm asking for is 50 quid each. Gets a laugh. Yeah. But now I kind of go, I kind of make a wee face, well, maybe it is. But it says, but I think I'm worth 20. But I'd be happy with a tenner or at least a fiver of your skint. Yeah. And then people are kind of, well, you don't want to shame them, at least they go, oh, I'm no skint, so I'll give them a tenner. And I learned a lot of that from the first few years I'd done it. I used to go around specifically to watch street performers. Right. Just to see their bucket speech, because they guys have done it all over the world, and that's their only income. Yeah. So I go and watch these guys and go, all right, what's he doing there? Watch their every move. And they always do a thing where they give kids money. You ever see them? They get kids up volunteering and stuff to do things. Aye. You ever see them doing that? And they give the kids a tenner or something like that. Aye. So that's like I guess called a reciprocity. So you get the psychology of that. If you give somebody something,
they will reciprocate.
So recipe for disaster. I can't say it. Do you know the word I mean? What's the word?
I know reciprocate. I don't know what you're trying to say.
That word.
Reciprocation.
So basically, if they're giving a kid a tenner, people subconsciously think, he's a good guy. Let's give him money back. Right. You know, but the guy's giving a good service, he's doing a good thing, so you go, shit, he was good.
If you want, I'll come to all your shows and sit at the front and you could give me a tenner. And be like, I'm a good guy, see, so I've gave him a tenner, now you can give me 50. I'll be that guy.
Aye, you give me a tenner. No, I have to give you a
No,
tenner.
you gave me a tenner to show how nice you are.
Oh, aye. And do you know what else works? Like, I'm just thinking this is a good episode for people that are new to the Fringe, by the way, right? And another thing that works well to get people into a venue is queues.
Aye, again, it's like having a crowd when you're playing.
So I'll.
You want to pay a queue of like,
fuck! I'd happily
get actors to stand in a queue.
I'd happily have 10 people standing in a queue. Because that is like, see, like 15 minutes before a gig, if people see a queue and they're looking for somebody to go, that looks as if it's good.
Aye, that's enough for them. Like,
So I'll say to people, like, I'll ask them. So people are already coming. They're in the venue having a beer. I says, listen, do you mind standing outside because it helps bring more people in? They go, fair enough, because they're on my side anyway.
Aye.
Because I've got a queue there, people start joining it, and they just go, oh, there's some on there starting soon.
aye.
But I'll also talk to them. So I'll also chat to them in the queue as well. So I've already started the show 15 minutes before the actual show.
Yeah.
Because I'm making them laugh in the queue. And because I'm making them laugh in the queue, people hear it, they're walking past, they go, oh, fuck that guy, let's and people kind of join in. So there's loads of wee things that I've learned over the years.
An
Just doing it.
absolute Darren Brown of the Fringe.
Oh fuck, it is, man. It's like genuinely, and it only takes 5 people that get another 2, and then another 2.
And you've filled a room
You
eventually.
get 10, man. People just join, and I mean, I've seen myself having like maybe 10 people go down the stairs to the toilet, going back in, and then people have just filled up, and then I need to stop flying because it's too full by that point.
Aye. Sounds good.
So rather than doing the what I'm saying is, rather than doing the pleasants, do all that and make some fucking money. You know what I mean?
It's that simple.
Aye, but I'll never go on TV because I'm not sucking up the pleasant's arse.
People are watching this on the TV right
All
now.
right, they're watching
You've
on the
made it.
telly. I've
That's
made
you
it.
on the
I'm on
telly.
I can actually see myself on the telly.
Aye, there's a wee screen in the camera there.
Hello
There's you.
there, you pair of pricks. What would you do if they came out of the screen, 2 wee Kris and Obies just come out running over?
I'd wait till it gets here and go.
But then if you'd done that, a big fist for up there would come down, and we've went all surreal now.
Oh dear. As long as that big wasp doesn't come back.
Aye.
I wonder when the next episode. That was episode 10 that we had the wasp.
Was it?
So now episode 16.
So is it maybe every 6 episodes that a wasp comes in?
Looks like it.
Maybe the next one
Still must be like a nest or
a
something.
jellyfish will come in. I went all surreal today. So that's a Fringe, man. And do you know who was good at bucket speech? Raymond Mearns, man. And like, see, Raymond is right. I learned a lot from him. I've learned loads of with him over the years. From
I was planning to see him at the Fringe last year, and then he rudely had a stroke.
fucking ignorant cunt. I'll be back this year though. If you want to go see him, I'd book tickets now because he's starting to sell them already.
There's a few folk I've started. I've not bought any yet, but I've been on the app looking at what's on. 'cause
Aye,
it was
if you're going to see
the
Raymond,
last few
book
weeks.
tickets because
Aye, I think I will.
he's got a sponsored ad now. So because people missed out last year,
Aye.
he'll sell out. I think quickly. So go on
Get on
Raymond's
that.
show.
Before this episode goes out, before
Before
we've plugged it.
Yeah, because it's only a 50-seater as well, he'll sell out. And I go and see Raymond Mearns at the Beehive. So Raymond, I used to watch him, and he used to be a salesman,
Right.
selling like phone net or computer networks or something like that.
Right.
And he would sell that, and it was just because he's a pattern merchant, and he would basically out in the street. He's basically. I used to sit and watch him in the Beehive upstairs, comparing the grass market. He's basically just gone up, pattern merchant, everybody in the grass. He'd fill his room easy every day, and he's built a regular audience over the years from that. People that come at his show, laugh their head off, come back every year, and now because of that, he's plus he's got that podcast now, which is obviously
Let's get that.
build that as well.
Do you know if he's doing his walking tours this year?
Hopefully, man, like he was meant to be doing that last year, but it depends how his health is. I think he's all right. But
Let's see. I've never actually been to just like see him at a solo show. I've just seen
oh,
him, like,
you need to book him, man. He's
I've
just,
seen him comparing at the stand a few times. but
aye,
I do
his
need to see
solo
his-
show, like generally, it's just like crowd work, but loads of bits of material in it. Just
Aye.
stuff that he's got this brain. He just clicks everything together. It's,
Aye. No, I think this week I'm going to start booking some shows because
Aye.
I've seen everyone started announcing them and they're on sale. So
so who else do you fancy seeing?
a lot of the ones that I just saw last week at Altitude, I've saw them announcing stuff. Mark
Aye.
Nelson's doing the Hive again, which
Oh, right,
always,
aye.
always smells of sick, but it's fun.
Aye,
Kai Humphries is doing a new show this year.
where's he on?
I can't remember. Don't know. I'll need to see. Can't remember. It's just I've seen loads of the
Aye.
I don't think Stephen Buchanan's doing it this year. He's getting married around about that time, I think. So that's maybe.
All right,
he's
fair
there.
enough, aye.
The other two, Mark Jennings is doing the Tron again. That's what he done last year.
All right, that's good. That's a monkey barrel now, isn't it?
Aye, it's run by the Monkey Barrel. Stuart McPherson's is in Monkey Barrel 2.
Aye.
The one that's like down the stairs under Monkey Barrel. Aye, so like, I saw all them last year, but I'll probably go again. Chris MacArthur Boyd, I never saw him last year, but I want to see his.
Aye, he'll be doing monkey barrel as well. Aye.
Aye, I saw him supporting. Where did I see him? Vittorio Angeloni. He supported him at the stand. And then Mark Jennings supported Mike Rice the other night at the stand. All
right.
But aye, I'll probably see all them.
See, I always plan to see loads. I might, if I don't get my second show or my second solo show this year, I'll probably see more.
Aye,
but hopefully I will get another show so as I can make some good money again.
Get a show where you find other people to come in and record the podcast with us. We'll do live shows.
Maybe. Do you know what I was thinking about last year, which I didn't do because I got that second venue. I was thinking of just doing like a show, like pick a time every day and just finding somewhere. Could be like somebody's house or out in the street, just do a show anywhere. But people had to find where it was, just something like that. I could just do a show on the meadows or something. Or
well, like you're going to flyer it and say it's here today.
Aye. That might get a wee gimmick that might work.
Like in the McDonald's or something.
Aye, it could be something like that. Or it might just be like a random venue that happens to be empty that day.
Aye.
Could be on the Royal Mile. I'll probably get into trouble with buskers and that, but if it could be somewhere that's a wee bit out of the way that
sounds like a lot of last minute work and organisation for
aye,
you.
Maybe, but it might work. It might work. It could be one of these things word of mouth. It might actually work, but you don't know.
This could be the thing that takes off at the Fringe this year.
It might be. So I might do that. We'll wait and see. But I mean, if I get a venue, I get a venue. I could do it all.
It's going to be good. I'm looking forward to the Fringe this year. Last year was the first time I'd been back in quite a long time.
Is it?
I hadn't been since pre-COVID.
Aye.
When I went back last year, so it's good.
I think last year was my best year.
Aye.
In terms of numbers, kind of money and stuff, I done all right. Just had a good like good buzz this year. Like just the times of the venues and stuff. Like I had that all on the same street, Banshee, the Globe Bar, and then Whistle Binkies. It was just I just had a good run.
Aye. No, I think definitely I'll. Assuming I manage to get myself some gigs between now and then, I'll try and find some spots.
I'll get you some spots. Don't worry about that, son. I'll sort you out some spots.
And then looking forward to the workshop number 2.
Aye. So I'm doing another comedy workshop. If you want to come and do your first gig, or if you're a comedian that wants to like work on stuff,
or if you're somebody that's been. I know Murray watches.
Murray watches. Bernie watches as well, apparently.
Oh, aye, she's on holiday. Hi, Bernie.
Aye. That's the 2 followers that I know that are. There's other people as well. Big John Allison watches. Deirdre watches as well.
Watches, aye.
So there is regulars watch it. Aye, that's good.
We're so famous that we know all our followers' names.
We know all our followers. So that's a shout out to who we shout out to. So Deirdre, Bernie, Murray. Who else?
Who was it? John something.
John Allison. I know they watch. I'm sure there's others.
My dad watches.
Chris's dad watches.
You read the book yet?
No, yeah, I'll need to watch. I'll do that this week, man, because we need to go on. When's your dad coming on? Once I read the book.
Once you read the book, so we can talk about it.
Right, we'll do it. Fuck it. Right, we'll be finished there because that's been ages, isn't it?
An hour and a half. A long episode this week.
But I was kind of angry because somebody told me about the amount the selling out a fucking venue and losing money is fucking ridiculous, man. So I was on a bit of a rant with that, and it ended up turning into an episode about the Edinburgh Festival. So
there we go.
Aye, so that guy should be. This episode should be called "How to Do Well at the Edinburgh Festival."
Let's go for it.
Something like that, because that's got like a specific thing. Well, other than that, if you enjoyed it, follow me, Obie Comedian, and follow Kris. He lives in Cumbernauld. See what I did there? Just follow him about. Just turn up to his work. Hey, hello there.
You can do my work for me. That'll be good.
Aye. But other than that, follow us. Leave comments because we want engagement on this.
Yes.
If you've got fuckets to do, if you want to do, tell us about it. And other than that, thanks.
See you at the Fringe this year.
See you at the Fringe. But also another podcast we're doing. See you there and all.
Bye then.
Cheerio.